Hello and welcome to the India Parenting Show. Today we have with us Nitya Agarwal. She runs a company called WildNest, and as the name suggests, it's all about nature and animals and birds. So Nitya, tell us in your words exactly how this venture was started and what do you do with it?
WildNest was born out of a passion for wildlife and nature way back in 2012. And we started with curating trips for people all around India through our own experiences. And slowly we started, a lot of trips, particularly in and around Mumbai as well. So I started looking into that aspect. And it began with a place known as Sivri, where we used to see a lot of flamingos.
Right.
And yeah, so that was the beginning of our trips in and around Mumbai. And again, we expanded into, different places like Karnala. We started collaborating with like-minded people, like various farm trips. So anything, any short, trip, it may be, only lasting for 2 to 3 hours to half a day or a full day thing. So any break from away from the concrete city. So that is the whole, idea behind it, because I myself, as a mother of a 9.5-year-old, I was looking for some places to go away where I could take my child and expose him to nature at that age, because it's so important. It's so crucial, to make a connect, help them connect through that.
Right. It's a concrete jungle, absolutely in Bombay. So it's really very good what you're doing. So tell me how old is your child and what is the age group of the kids that you take for all these trips?
So the age group actually varies, and we do curate age appropriate trips. So we have clients, coming from like few month old kids to, as old as, teenagers or as big as adults.
Wow.
So absolutely. So it's varied, but only thing is we, always suggest if a particular trip is not appropriate for a particular age, we do give our suggestions and advice, and we do ask the parents to, come for a customized trip then, so that it can be curated for that particular age group.
Right. So, like, do you do it with the parents or it's just for kids? It's like with the parents, depending on the age, I guess.
Yes. So actually, most of our trips were actually with the parents. Only, only during the school trips and all, which we did. But that also the teachers were always accompanying. So we always encouraged, that parent-child bonding and great break for the family as such.
Yes, absolutely. So, how many kids or how many people in one trip that you do you take? Like
So
10?
actually, we always believe in a lot of personal attention. So
Right.
whether it was our any trip what we conducted, it was a very small group, and again depending on the place where we are taking, so the group size would either vary from like 8 to 10 kids, people to 20 to 30. But again, it depends. So we always believed in doing very small groups, so we could each and every one could have personal attention. And in case we have a lot of people joining in around 20-25, then we would have enough number of our team members to assist them.
Very nice, very nice. So tell me, how do you have to prepare for these trips? Do you have to be physically prepared, or anybody can join at any time, or what would you say?
So before registering, of course, we always, check their level, of physical activity and their own stamina. But most of the trips are very, friendly for any and every age group. Only few trips, few treks, what we did, if we think that's a hard trek, so then we would recommend that, it is only appropriate for like 12 plus, or only physically active, or maybe senior citizens can avoid coming for those trips.
Right. Very nice. And so like, tell me one thing. What is a typical trek like?
So usually what we do is it's a simple trek where one of our team expert is going, usually accompanies, and they are also helping them, explore the different elements of nature, whether it's the birding, whether it's the flora or fauna, different. So if it's a monsoon time, of course, we can't expect too many birds. So, but we explore different kind of butterflies or different kind of insects, whatever is there actually growing and in that particular season. So every season offers something special. So we do try, to make the most of that particular time.
Right. So this sounds so interesting. How did you get into it? How do you know so much about birds and butterflies and animals and plants? I mean, I really don't know as much. I'm from Bombay, you see. So you tell me.
So actually, our journey started way back in 2004 when we had visited, first national park. It was Kanha National Park
Right.
with our family, and we got hooked to it so badly that all our summer vacations started. We started spending them in the jungles. So one after the other. Then there was no looking back,
Right.
and so then of course through the years we realized that. How important is to even plan your trip properly, and how less the people know about it, and it actually holds such an integral part in all our life. We are not disconnected to it. We all are surviving because of the nature's existence, right? We can't survive independently. So
Right.
that is how the whole idea of wildness emerged, that let us through our own experience help people really plan and have a good experience, so that through that experience they even start feeling the need to conserve that.
Right.
So that's
Nice.
how it began, because otherwise how many ever campaigns happen, whether it's tiger save the tiger campaign or whatever, nobody will be bothered because everybody is busy in their own lives with different problems.
True.
But through when they start enjoying that, that is the time when they'll even feel the need.
Right. So tell me, Mani Nitya, do you take only one day trips, or do you take 2 3 day trips to like Kana to other places?
So we do organize, all those trips, and we have, clientele from India as well as abroad. So our itineraries can range from a couple of days to 10, 15, 20 days also, depending on the interest of the people. So
Right.
of course, we do suggest them, and ask them of their preference. If somebody is primarily looking for tiger spotting, so we do guide them, which season to go, where are the tiger sightings happening properly. And of course, we have local team members over there in each and every park. So,
Oh, good.
so we know, where, what kind of sightings are happening. All that is there. So we can actually help them plan everything in a better way. So they all, have a good experience, a better experience.
Right. So tell me one thing. How do you, okay, as a parent, how do you think a parent should teach the kids about wildlife and birds?
I think best is to start taking them, for all these trips. So I remember my son's first safari happened when he was only 15 months old. That
Oh,
was the first time I tried taking him to a jungle safari where he was conscious. So he got so excited looking at the deers and the elephants. And
right.
then there's no looking back. Every year, every 6 months, we always go and explore a different park. And initially, wherever we used to go, like, he used to love playing in the mud, in the soil. So I actually used to joke that he may become, he's researching so much of the soil of each and every part that, it's quite interesting. And that is actually very important because they build up their immunity like that. Today, in these times, we keep the kids away from all that.
Yes.
But
Yes.
it's very important to keep them close to nature
Yes.
so much. And I've seen him grow into a very responsible and conscious human being. He's very conscious about not throwing garbage or not using plastic or all those things, because he understands what are we actually doing and how it's going to actually harm the environment. So I don't have to literally tell him something, but he's very, very aware on his own because of his observation.
Right. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. So now tell me one thing. As a for adults, what do you have? For people like us, whose kids are older now, because my kids are quite old. So what would you say?
So I think for adults also, anytime going out in nature, there's no particular age that you should feel that, oh, it's too childish for me or it's not appropriate for me. Even going for a stroll, even if you're not into birding, just going in a jungle, in a place like, even we are blessed to have a lot of places like Bhandu pumping station, New Navi Mumbai, and then we do have Eur Hills and Karnala and all. So just taking a stroll over there and just listening to the music, the melody, of birds chirping. even if you don't understand anything, it's such a huge break, and it is like a perfect meditation for adults. So I think there's no age for us to start anything.
Yes,
But
I agree. I agree. I agree. Listening to you, I'm so tempted to go also. Not that I know anything about birds or animals, but I think that you sound so passionate about it that I'm really tempted to also go. Okay, so tell me one thing, Nitya. How are you managing the lockdown now? How are you managing it with your classes? Your trips are obviously stopped. What else are you guys doing?
So actually, this pandemic, when the lockdown happened, of course, we were in the middle of a peak season for the flamingo watching, and suddenly everything stopped. And it took us a couple of days, to even think what can be done, because I myself am not a person who would want their child to be online, constantly on the computer. But as the days passed, maybe around 15-20 days, and we were thinking, that it's very integral, very important to keep the kids occupied in something positive and healthy. So
Right?
that's how we started curating these special workshops, like whether it's backyard birding or it's something on reptiles or butterflies and all those, so that we could still keep a connect, with nature. We could help, and that were of course mixed groups again. We did had some workshops where only the younger kids, so the information what we used to share was very simplified, but
Right.
normally it was our workshops were like 9 year and plus, and where even adults and kids could take advantage. So for example, the backyard birding gave so much of information, and it motivated people to even go in their balconies or just their terrace and start observing the birds around their own neighborhood. So
Right. So tell me one thing. So Nitya, what exactly is backyard birding? What exactly do you do in that?
So actually, it's a very basic kind of a workshop where we explain about how to identify any birds, different parts of the birds, and we also familiarized people with the common birds found in the city, whether it's a quail, whether it's a myna or a kite, or the sparrows or the parakeet, all these, and made them even familiar with the sounds. So sometimes we are not able to see the bird, but the sound. So I think that made so much of difference, because that really helped people to go and observe and listen. Spend it 1 hour, spend it half an hour outside in the balconies or the terrace, and that is how they could feel that refreshed and feel rejuvenated even in the difficult times of the pandemic.
Right.
So what is all about.
Very nice. Okay, tell me one thing. For kids, how do your workshops help them academically? Like, do they help them also academically, or do they just get the knowledge of birds and animals?
So actually, these workshops are so planned that they really do help them in their academic as well, because we had many schools who had come to us and especially got these particular workshops planned for their students, because it actually went very well with their curriculum, what was going on, whether it was related to the marine animals or the sea, or the birds or the butterflies, their own curriculum, because all these topics are covered in the
Correct.
school at some or the other point. But through the practical knowledge what we have, our team experts have, so we could actually share much more their practical experiences, rather than just the theoretical knowledge what we gain from the books.
Right.
So actually made a lot of difference. And of course, we do believe in a lot of question answers, and we used to incorporate some fun activities where the kids will participate, whether
Right.
it's a small quiz or any fun activity. So actually kids used to really feel happy, and to even participate.
Right. So I believe that you've also started having virtual birthday parties. Tell me more about that.
Yes. So when we were planning all these workshops, we also realized that we need to have some fun things added. So we designed our own wildlife tombola and some few fun games. So
Nice.
that's how the whole idea of the virtual birthday parties also came, because this pandemic, we never know till when it's gonna last, and kids are sing out, and they always, of course, want to special, have something special, on their birthdays. So that is how the whole idea cropped up, and we started curating these virtual birthday parties with different combinations of games and all, again age appropriate, and we are having a blast organizing them. So we are having them regularly, every week we are having some or the other birthday party, and sometimes with different themes. So how we started with only wildlife tambola, where we started sharing some fun facts also
Yeah.
while playing the game. But yes, so it's a lot of fun to have these, and we feel so happy that we are able to, give little joy and impart that joy in that child's, life through
Right.
this particular session. So
Yes, very nice, very nice. Okay, so tell me one thing: if the parents want to join the classes or the kids, for their kids, do you have sessions like regular sessions, or how can they do it, or do they have to find a group themselves and then join your class or your batch? How does it work?
So lot of things what we have are single standalone sessions also, but apart from that we do have some new programs which we have started having, like a 4 day program, or a monthly program.
Right,
So month, for a change, as we felt the need, we have also started with a fitness thing, although it is entirely different, but we, as we collaborated with somebody who is a lot into fitness, and we realized that now a lot of people are still not able to step out, so we started something like that also. So that is on a monthly basis, and it's going to be a long lasting thing, because it's actually helping the kids become fitter, which is very very important, and burn up their pent up energy. So
yes, absolutely.
so
Also, Nitya, you mentioned that you've got something to do with creative writing or stories or something like that. Can you tell us more about that?
So we've also collaborated with a renowned children's author, Katie Bagri. So we are doing a lot of creative writing, sessions with her, whether it's the travel writing, or whether it's the comic strip writing. A lot of things related to nature again. So where kids are, first. They are introduced with different aspects, different fun facts about nature or something, and then they are encouraged to write on their own. So again, it's such a beautiful thing in these times, because otherwise children are spending so much time just either on the screen,
Yes,
whatever. But this really instills them to actually start something on their own. So I can see a huge difference in my own son, because he had never done any kind of writing before, but he was so motivated to, he started writing his own poems
oh, lovely, very nice, very nice,
for his friends or for any other occasion. So he's composing his own poems. So
very
it's beautiful to see how kids start that something new. So it
right.
adds on to their own added skill.
Yes, yes, Nitya. I think that you are making a wonderful mother. So congratulations. I think you're doing the right things for your kid. Very nice.
So much.
Okay, so Nitya, I think that we've asked all the questions that we have for you. Thank you so very much for being on this program. Thank you. Take care. And parents, the details for Nitya's program will be at the end of the video. So please stay tuned and please join her classes. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
If you like our videos, do subscribe, like, and share. Thank you.